Well everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Google Pixel 9 and compare it against the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE and see which particular phone is the better one for you. Now I would probably say in a majority of different ways, the Google Pixel 9 is probably the significantly better phone than the Galaxy S23 FE, but the S23 FE is a significantly cheaper phone right now. On Amazon, it's like $270, which is a very, very good deal. So let's go and see how they both compare. If you want to pick up either one of these phones or some phones I would recommend buying this year, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular phones, the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE on the front side has a 6.4-inch dynamic AMOLED display. So this is a fairly good looking panel and it's a fairly good looking screen for the most part as well. I feel like with a phone like the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE, if you're going to go through and if you're going to buy a phone, it really is a pretty good looking panel, and that is something that I actually love a lot about that type of device. So you're getting, a 1450 nit brightness panel, 120 Hz, very good stuff all throughout. Although it's not perfect, I still think it's a very good looking display. And that is, without a doubt, one of the cooler things going on for this phone when it kind of comes down to it. Now, on top of that, with the Google Pixel 9, you're basically going to be getting a 6.3-inch OLED display. So it's a tiny bit smaller. It's 120 Hz, 1080p, but it does get up to 2700 nits of brightness, which in and of itself is kind of a nice thing to have inside of this type of phone. So the fact that this type of device is going to be giving you that type of capability is genuinely very nice. And, I do think that in and of itself does give it a little bit more capability here and there within this particular phone. The fact that it is brighter, and I would probably argue that it is the better and nicer looking panel than something like the Google Pixel 9. Now, on top of that, with both these phones, you're also going to be getting USB Type-C ports on the bottom. No expandable storage on either one of these phones. The sides are pretty much flat on both, which is kind of nice to have. So if you're going to go through and look at both these phones, they're, pretty much flat-sided, although the S23 FE is maybe slightly curved, but both look very good. On the back side, you're getting standard glass backs on both these phones, which I actually like a lot. I think this in and of itself is another really cool feature going on for both. The fact that they are like standard glass backs on the back, I think it's a really nice thing. You're getting wireless charging, you're getting reverse wireless charging on both as well, which again is a very, very nice thing going on here too. You're getting a triple camera setup on the back side of the S23 FE, where the Google Pixel 9 is going to be giving you a dual camera setup. And overall, when you're looking on the outside of both these phones, I generally do feel like both these phones are very nice. They have a lot of capability, but I would probably tell you, if you're looking on the outside of both, the Google Pixel 9, I think just visually looks better. Like there might be less bezel around it overall than the S23 FE. And I felt like with a phone like the S23 FE, that type of device was kind of giving you a little bit of a different type of experience for the most part, just because it isn't supposed to be like the main expensive flagship. The Pixel 9 is supposed to be that main expensive flagship, but I do feel like in this particular case, the S23 FE is the one that looks pretty good, but the Google Pixel 9 is probably the better looking one here for the most part. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. Now, in terms of the price tags between both, the Galaxy S23 FE right now is costing $270. With the Google Pixel 9 right now is costing about $800-ish, maybe, a little bit cheaper depending on which way you go. So that is another really cool thing going on here too. The fact that the Google Pixel 9 is, the S23 FE is so much cheaper, but it isn't like a terrible phone. That phone just came out like last year. So it is still a really good phone in some ways. So that is a pretty big advantage for that type of device. So once again, kind of keep that in mind here too. That's another really cool thing going on here as well. Now, on top of that, when it comes down to the camera side of things, these two phones are going to be giving you a little bit of a different type of experience. So with the Galaxy S23 FE, you're going to be getting a 50 megapixel wide, 8 megapixel telephoto, and then a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. Whereas with the Google Pixel 9, you're going to be getting a 50 megapixel wide and then a 48 megapixel ultra wide camera. So I will tell you, in my personal opinion, if I'm going to go through and look at both of these phones, I definitely do feel like in a lot of their own ways, they hold up well. They're very, very good, sharp looking phones for the most part, which again is a very nice thing. But if you're going to go through and look at both of these types of devices, you're going to be getting a different type of experience when it comes down to it. Because of the Galaxy S23, by giving you that additional camera, you're also getting 8K filming on the back. Not that you need it for the other camera, but you're getting 8K filming on the back. Still 4K 6 on the front and back of both of them. But again, having that 8K capability is so nice. It just gives you a little bit more flexibility there for that camera. And I genuinely do think from that side alone, that is another very big advantage and a very big thing going on for the, Galaxy S23 FE. So I would probably tell you from a camera side, the Google Pixel 9's camera is still very good, and I like that camera a lot. And if you're going to go and use a phone, it's still a really good advantage of having a phone like that by giving you that type of capability. However, on the Galaxy S23 FE side, that one probably is the overall better one that I can probably see. If you're going to go through and pick up a phone, that's the one that I'd probably look at as probably being the overall better looking one than the Google Pixel 9 in this particular situation. So once again, take it as you will, but if I'm going to go through and look at a particular phone, it's probably going to be the Galaxy S23 FE. That's probably going to be the better one in my personal opinion than the Google Pixel 9 in this particular situation. So once again, kind of keep that in mind here. Now on top of that, another very big thing going on here too is the fact that the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE and the Google Pixel 9 are both Android phones, and they're both going to be supported with Android for a bit of time. Now, this is where things get a little bit more complicated here, because the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE, it's supported with Android, it's getting up to 4 major Android versions, but the problem that we're kind of getting within something like the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE is the fact that within that particular phone, we're kind of in a situation where it's not going to be lasting as long, not even close, compared to the Galaxy, S20, compared to the Google Pixel 9. So if you're looking at both these phones, you're going to be getting a significantly longer lasting phone inside of something like the Google Pixel 9 rather than the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE. So that is kind of a problem that we're going to be getting inside of that phone. It's not a problem right now because both phones, they're still supported with software. They're still good to go. There's a lot of good stuff going on within both these phones. But that is somewhat of the problem that we're going to be getting within this type of device, because with something like the Google Pixel 9, this is one of those devices that really, it's going to be lasting so much longer than the S23 FE that it doesn't make a lot of sense to buy something like an S23 FE when you can buy something like a Pixel 9. Yes, it's more expensive, but it is going to be lasting for a significantly longer amount of time. So once again, keep that in mind. Not the biggest, deal in the world, but that is just one thing to kind of keep in mind there when you're looking at these particular devices. So from the performance side, both phones still have really good chipsets. The S23 FE is giving you that Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset inside with 8 gigs of RAM, where the Google Pixel 9 is giving you that Tensor G4 chipset inside with 12 gigabytes of RAM. And the thing I will tell you here in this particular situation as well is that when it comes down to the whole entire performance side, both phones are still supported with software, and they're both very good performing devices. But it's interesting here because I do like the 8 Gen chip series of chipsets probably more than the Tensor chipsets. Although this year I did notice that the Tensor chipsets are fairly good. They still have a lot of stuff going on with them, which is really nice. But I would probably tell you in some ways that with something like the S23 FE, I feel like that chipset can handle a little bit more gaming related stuff than something like the Google Pixel 9. So I think that is kind of one thing that's kind of going on here, that if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, that's just like one thing that I did kind of notice within both these devices. So albeit it's not the biggest deal in the world, that was just kind of one thing that I did notice. But I do like both these phones. I think the performance is very good still and everything like that. But I probably would tell you the Google Pixel 9 might be the overall better performing device than the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE. So to kind of sum it up, what I'll definitely tell you is I like both these phones and I love both these phones, right? They're both very, very good. They have so many good things and so many good qualities and so many good nice to have features within both these devices. They're not perfect phones by any means, but I definitely would tell you the Google Pixel 9 is probably the overall better one in a majority of ways than the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE. So from that side, that kind of covers it up here. I like the S23 FE a lot, but if you have all the money in the world, definitely go for the Google Pixel 9. So from that side, that kind of covers it up here for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll be so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.